was slipping like a slip and slide. I was shooting dice till I got a nosebleed. Money on the floor, can't get cold feet. Took an L, should've put it in the offering. Lord, forgive me for my sins, don't know of me. Scary thoughts, I got scary thoughts. Lost control, now I'm taking charge. Breaking bills, friends breaking off. You could be the youngest, I'm the dawn. Kiss the ring, nah. In the scene like GOT. Stay awake, don't sleep. Like Jon Snow, get R.I.P. Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. Just me, myself, and I, my favorite threesome. The cars I drive by, I never lease them. They say if you can't beat them, then you join them. That's no option, I don't join, I always.
Hey, what's happening, everybody?
I was faking.
Once again, it's Sunday at 6 p.m. and you could be any place in the world, but you're here with me. So let me go ahead and kill the funky music and let's get started. So what's happening, y'all? How you feeling? What's going on? Glad to see you could join the recording of the podcast of Going Full Nerd. Yo, yeah, that's what's going down. Hey, that was some new theme music. I'm trying a little something. That was called Good Vibes Only from, I don't even want to know how to pronounce it. Nibbinik, whatever. What's happening, everybody? As always, you could be anywhere, but you're right here with me, and I'd like to thank you and each and every one of you for doing such. So, let's get the administrative stuff out the way, and let's get started. Hey, check this out. You can check out the podcast itself on numerous podcasting platforms such as anchor.fm/goingfullnerd. You can check me out on Spotify and iHeartRadio and Apple Podcast or wherever you choose to consume your podcast from. I mean, you could go, hey Alexa, you could do all that stuff and just say, let me hear Going Full Nerd. And it may pull up the podcast or it may pull up this YouTube channel that you are watching. Yes. But let us continue on. Please also make sure that if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, click the subscribe button, hit the bell, ding, 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 so you can get notified every Sunday at 6 p.m. like it says right up here. Or when I drop a, random review or something during the week. That's what I'm gonna tell you now. Whew. And lastly, but not least, if you want to go ahead and follow me on Twitter handles right there at Onyx1969, and you can check out goingfullnerd.com for a little bit of comic book news and information. Okay, we got all that shameless plug out. We got it all out. Let's get to what we always talk about each week. That's the top 5 domestic box office in the U.S. Ooh, coming in at number 1. Star Wars finally got dethroned after 4 weeks in the box office. 4 weeks in the box office. Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker got dethroned. Coming in at number 1 was number 17 in the box office last week, and that is the movie 1917. Been in the movie theaters for about 3 weeks now. Crazy, right? Go figure. That pulled in $36.5 million. Universal Pictures doing their thing with the World War I, World War epic, that type of thing. Coming in at number 2 was last week and the previous couple of weeks, number 1. Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, pulling in $15 million. Whoo, yeah, Star Wars gonna make that money. Coming in number 3, surprising me that this is still kind of up there. Jumanji: The Next Level, Kevin Hart and The Rock pulling in 14 mil even. And coming in at number 4 is the Tiffany Haddish comedy. I mean, it is what it is, folks. Pulled in $10 million even. That is Like a Boss. Okay. Didn't see it. Might go see it with the wife. She wants to see it. So I got to do my thing. Got to be the good husband. especially since I'm about to start hitting the movie theater heavy and hard for the next few weeks. Then coming in, last but not least, number 5 is Just Mercy with Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx, pulling in $10 million. That's the drama. That's the stuff. Top 5 box office. Okay, let's get to today's story because I'm trying to watch playoff football, and if it is what it is, Houston, we have a problem. So we just leave it at that. Good deal, Kansas City. That game over. But anyway, let me take a sip of my adult beverage and let's get started. All right, everybody. So let's check it out. So if you've seen the title of this week's show and you see, you know, my little side piece right here to let you know what we're going to kind of talk about. And that's Harley Quinn. You see, I'm Harley Quinn down. I got the Batman, but I'm Harley Quinn down. So let's check this out. The trailer dropped this week, okay? And I kind of want to explore the character a little bit. I want to explore the character, and I also want to get the audience's opinion on why Harley Quinn is so popular. I mean, I got my theories, she came from humble beginnings in the Batman, the animated series, when she was a more fun, quiet character, but there was issues back then too. And, she went from animated series, strictly a cartoon creation, then went to the comic books. They started integrating her. Then she got to the movies. Now everyone loves Harley. Harley, Harley, Harley. Ain't that how the Joker does it? But anyway, let's keep it going. Now, I'm going to talk about the trailer a little more. But I hope this new movie does not come up short because the bar for Harley Quinn is now set reasonably high. And I'm going to tell you why. So think about it. In the movies and in the comic book, and the animated features on DC Universe, basically people are looking at Harley Quinn differently now than when she first popped up. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you, I can remember when the character was first introduced on Batman the Animated Series. I mean, that was pretty cool. And, her popularity blossomed, but it wasn't like how it is today. You fast forward a little bit and people were at one point was like, oh, we've got to have the relationship like Harley and the Joker. Hold up. Can we say dysfunctional? You want a relationship like Harley and the Joker. The Joker was an abusive, egotistical, sadistic, and she seemed like she was suffering from Stockholm syndrome, back in the day. I'm gonna have to call a pause because I've always said that when people say that. I mean, yeah, the artist always drew stuff looking cool. You had that Alex Ross painting with Harley Quinn and the Joker in the suits and all that. I mean, I dig it. I dig it. When somebody makes something look real good, it's hard not to say I want to be like that, but you got to look deep into it. You got to look. But if you think about it, her character gained a lot of popularity, and as she started getting a lot of popularity, they started putting her in a little bit of everything. We seen this in other comic book companies. We seen this with other characters. I remember at one point you couldn't spit 2 inches and not have Wolverine or Deadpool in a comic book. Let's be honest. And over on the Warner Brothers DC comic side, that's what happened to Harley. Okay, so check this out. When she was first, dropped in there, she was the perfect sidekick. Didn't have too many words. She was basically Joker's Robin. If you think about Robin back in the day, Robin wasn't. How many Robins did we have? Like 5 or 6? And then they started growing old and getting new identities: Red Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, all that good stuff. But you always kept a Robin who really wasn't all that, right? So someone along the way said, Joker needed his Robin, and that is Harley, in all honesty. But the thing about it is, you know, everybody sits back and, you got to look at it and say, you know what? Characters got to grow. Characters got to develop. Now, my man's in the chat. Y'all talking about she's fun. Women's lib is the age of the dominant woman. And that's true. That's true. No arguing there. But here goes the thing. You know, whether you love it, hate it, like it, or whatever, this storyline that's coming from this trailer has two sides to it. It has a couple of things that could give it a problem. So let's look at Harley. Her popularity as a standalone character has grown over the past few years, number of years. Okay, and that demanded that change in character portrayal. We know this. We know this for a fact. It is what it is. It had to happen, right? So, let's be honest. She's a doctor of psychology. But in the beginning, they kind of portrayed her as this dumb blonde sidekick who was constantly abused, right? Okay. Now that they've empowered her, which is a good thing, all right, then they took a page from Deadpool. I don't really talk a lot about DC copying Marvel because Marvel came along after DC, and there's obviously a lot of Marvel stuff that's copied. Okay, so let's go take a look at this. She started breaking the fourth wall in the comic books, started breaking the fourth wall in her own animated series, in more recent comics, and in these movies. Now, this movie seems like she's going to break the fourth wall. The trailer itself has me saying, you know what? She's breaking the fourth wall because she's telling her story. Right? Right. Boom. I remember going to New York Comic Con about 4 years ago, around Suicide Squad time frame. Me and the wife went, and then if you've ever been inside the Javits Center, you got these staircase, and the staircase can come down and around, and you could tell just by the oversaturation of characters, the popularity of characters. You had a whole bunch of Deadpools coming down one side, and then you had a whole bunch of Harley Quinns in their various form coming down the other side, all meeting in the photography area in the service drive. So they're all coming down, and you could hear it, and they were like, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. And they were doing it, and then you had the Deadpools doing it with the deep voice, hey, oh, hey. And then you had the Harley Quinns on the other side, hey, oh, hey. I mean, people were losing their damn minds. But anyway, let's get back to this. All right, so after all this, we got the character, we got the comic book, great writer Amanda Conner, she's hooking it up. Now we got this. This is what we got going on. Let me throw this out at you. Okay, let me throw this out. Suicide Squad drops. Suicide Squad, you can see my review. I enjoyed it. I liked the action. It was cool, but it was an average movie at best with the ensemble cast. There was a lot of issues. Everybody kept comparing it to the Marvel films, which were still ramping up at the time. But you think about this, okay? Her popularity jumped. I don't know if it was because of Margot Robbie's sex appeal, or if it was just because the character was just breakout straight crazy, and that's the way the world is nowadays. It is what it is. So now here we get to the trailer for, let me go ahead, let me see, it's a mouthful. I'm going to call it Birds of Prey movie, but the whole thing is called Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Okay, so the premise of the movie actually isn't original, because the premise of the movie, if you have peeped out my previous review on the Harley Quinn animated feature starring Kelly Kuko, it's the same basis, which is Harley is tired of Joker's BS, breaks up with him, and now is trying to strike out on her own. Boom. That's it. Simply. Boom. Now, here goes the thing. They got the official synopsis, which I'm going to read off to you. I'm going to tell you. Keep my notes. The official synopsis is: since the events of Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn has left the Joker. Just sounds like the cartoon there. Now, when Roman Sionis, that's our villain in Birds of Prey, a narcissistic crime lord who is also known as the Black Mask, take it straight from the comic books, okay, places a hit on a young girl named Cassandra Cain. Now we're getting derailed, okay? Cassandra Cain, in my comic book lore, is a ninja assassin that cannot speak. But from the trailer, you look at it, she's a young shoplifter. Okay, peep the trailer, do the thing. All right, so Gotham City turns upside down looking for her. So obviously, this becomes there's a hit on this kid, and now everybody's coming for her. So Harley joins forces with Black Canary, Helena Bertinelli, okay, who is also known as the Huntress in the comic books, and Renee Montoya, who had the superhero identity of the Question in the comic books back in the day, to protect the girl and take Sionis down, aka the Black Mask. You also got villains known as Zaz, who is the serial killer who cuts himself up and all that good stuff. So that's the premise of the movie. A lot of Harley Quinn separating herself from the Joker, the comedy, the action, the erraticness, the goofiness, and the smart, intelligence that she goes back and forth from. That's going to be the whole movie. Am I predicting it? Yes. Is it going to be enjoyable? Has yet to be determined. Okay. I enjoyed Suicide Squad, but it wasn't a very good movie. I may enjoy this movie because they took their time a little bit. They fleshed this out some. Hopefully, they fleshed it out good enough where the story grabs us and makes us give a darn about the character. Obviously, I'm not looking for this to be like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, because this is closer to being a straight superhero action crazy flick. Plus, you've got Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn in the upcoming Suicide Squad 2. So obviously they're not going to deviate too much in the character portrayal. I guess, and I hope, and I know we're not going to go ahead and get any type of seriousness. She has transitioned in the comic books and in pop culture from the villain to the anti-hero. We're getting a lot of anti-heroes. Punisher, Deadpool, Harley Quinn. Okay, so that's how that's working. Even Black Adam, the character that The Rock is supposedly going to play fighting Shazam eventually, he's an anti-hero, or they play that in the comic books at one point. So, here we go. So what do you think? Because there's been so many differences from the comic, and it drives people crazy. This is why Birds of Prey is going to drive crazy. I'm going to tell you. I already mentioned about Cassandra Cain being from the ninja assassin to this shoplifting kid. Okay. Renee Montoya seems like it's going to be the same. Helena Bertinelli, the Huntress. This is one of the classic origins. She's still the daughter of a crime boss who's fighting crime. They've gotten that. That's in there. At one point, Huntress was Batman's daughter from an alternate Earth, but that's a whole different story. But those two characters seem to be cool. But people were up in arms in the internet over the Black Canary. Okay? All right? You know who this is. This is Jusce Smollett. This is Jusce Smollett's sister. Oh, I'm surprised she got a job after this. But anyway, after her brother messing up with that old crazy story. But anyway, people were tripping because Black Canary is actually black in this movie. So that's one deviation, but there's going to be some differences, especially portraying that character is crazy. And I'm surprised that there's a Birds of Prey movie with no Oracle or no Batgirl, because comic book wise, she was a part of it. It is what it is. All right, so This is the thing, and Cassandra Cain not being a little kid, not a ninja assassin. But the question is going to be remain. Looking at the trailer, action looks great. Stories being told to the audience by Harley, breaking the breaking the fourth wall. That's the way they're going to go follow this. It's cool. We dig it. It is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know why the renewed interest in Harley is there. I know that it takes time to make movies. It was the pop off character. She was the pop off character in Suicide Squad. So obviously, they greenlit for her to have a movie. Schedules, push your stuff back. You gotta film, you gotta edit, you gotta make it good. I understand. I totally feel you. I know what you do. It's all good. But here goes the thing. Watching the trailer was good. Action looks great. Trailers always show the best part of the movie. I really hope that the story breaks out and actually makes us give a damn about any of the characters. The CGI is over the top. I mean, I'm going to laugh because towards the end, she gets one of her trademark hyenas. Yes. And he looks a little crazy. She names him Bruce. Okay. Check out the trailer on YouTube. You can just look it up. Birds of Prey trailer released a day or two ago. You can't miss it. All right. But the trailer looks good. The trailer looks like it has some action. I personally am enjoying the Harley Quinn animated series. This movie, I can't wait to see what it's like. For it to be called Birds of Prey, but really feature Harley Quinn as the main character, I don't know. They should have just called it Harley Quinn, maybe. Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. Who knows? I wonder how the James Gunn directed Suicide Squad is going to tie into this, if it even does, since Warner Brothers basically abandoned the DC Extended Universe stuff. So it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. So let me go ahead and start talking a little bit about what's going on in the chat. So we're looking at this. Yeah, it's the age of the dominant women. I got you on that. Now, you peep the trailer. It should be interesting. And yes, storylines must have a strong, solid female or woman character in it. I mean, that's how it is today. Only because that's how life is today. That's the way it is. It is. If you don't see it, then we're wrong. We can hold on to the jokes and the laughs and all that stuff, but is it really a joke? It matter. Women are powerful. And so to portray it in media, it should be as such. But the problem is a lot of people hold on to those mindsets and they don't want to acknowledge it. But that's all good. Now, as far as Dracula, I'm actually writing up my review of Dracula because that is another series. It's a Netflix series. I don't. It's a Netflix maxi series, as I like to call it. One season, 3 episodes. I'm going to write up the review for that and post that video this week. I have words to say about that show, and I really got to dig deep into that one. So that's going to be pretty darn interesting, you know. But like I say, I don't see Harley playing a villain anymore. And she can't come up with an evil plan. I'm with you on that one, Tommy. She is not a villain anymore. She's not a good guy, but she's not a villain. I think she is more. For the kids that played Dungeons and Dragons, they had good, lawful good, evil, lawful evil. She was more of the chaotic. I don't chaotic neutral. Is that the way to put it? I'm letting my old nerd self come out. Now, is it coming to the small tube? I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. It's going to hit the theaters in February. I think it's like February 7th. Is that it? Or am I confusing it with another movie? But it's coming out. Yeah, February 7th. It's coming out a week before Valentine's Day. So you get to see Harley break up with the Joker before Valentine's Day. Oh, that's going to work for so many people. So many people. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But the question is, and I'm going to put this on Twitter, it's a poll. And I love to see it, and I'll report on it next week. But the question is for people who really don't follow comic books, do you think that Harley Quinn or Birds of Prey and the emancipation and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn is a movie made for moviegoers or is it made for comic book fans? take a look at the trailer, think about all the things I brought up about Harley Quinn, and let me know when I put the poll up on Twitter. But hey, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate y'all. I got to get back to watching this travesty of a football game where Kansas City is smashing Houston, and still have a sip of a drink after what happened to Baltimore last night, who I thought would have went all the way. But anyway, y'all, it's YouTube's Most Ignored. Your boy Onyx here, going full nerd. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for popping in. Remember this: if you can't say something nice to anybody, don't say anything at all. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to videos. Also, go to the podcast, take a listen on your drive to work. That way you can hear my golden tones. And as always, let me go ahead and drop that funky music. And ladies and gentlemen, let me hit that line. Peace, y'all, and I'm out of here. Boom.
Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need bad energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. When the truth don't work, you start telling lies. Thought you were down to ride, you weren't down to ride. Caught switching, you were picking sides. Don't blink, caught slipping like a slip and slide.
Remember, if you can't say something nice to somebody, don't say anything at all. Just send me a note, I'll say it for you.
Lord, forgive me for my sins, don't know of me. Scary thoughts, I got scary thoughts. Lost control, now I'm taking charge. Breaking bills, friends breaking off. You could be the youngest, I'm the dawn. Kiss the ring, nah. In the scene like GOT. Stay awake, don't sleep. Like Jon Snow, get R.I.P. Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't